Hey, Misa Findlay here. Have you ever been really hurt by someone? Have you ever just been so angry or so upset by something someone has done to you? Is it just kind of destroyed you and made you so that you can't even be around that person? You don't trust them, you don't like them, you don't want to be anywhere near them. And sometimes your friends will say something like, oh, just get over it. Like, that doesn't help. Somehow it's almost even dismissing the emotions that you feel, and it hurts even more. Like somehow your feelings are not valuable and they're just dismissing everything you felt. But it is really hard to have that. Nobody wants to be hurt. Nobody wants to hold those feelings of frustration and anger and pain inside you. And you do need to find a way to get rid of them. Best example I can think of is, let's say you got a deep cut on your arm, and you of course are going to do everything you can to protect it. You're going to put a nice big bandage on it, and you're going to maybe wrap it up so that you're not bumping it or hurting it anymore. And that bandage is good. It's there to protect it. It's there to keep bacteria and germs out of it while it heals. And it's going to kind of add a bumper there so that you don't hurt it anymore. But what if you leave that bandage on for a week, 2 weeks, 2 months? How about a year? What if you leave it on for 5 years, 10 years? Now there's something nasty going on underneath that. And that bandage is actually becoming more of a problem than a help. It was a help to begin with. It was protecting, it was comforting and helping it to heal. Now that bandage is preventing you from healing. And you know there's some nasty ugliness underneath there, and you don't want to take it off because you know it's going to be painful. So you can just maybe keep adding layers and maybe even put a cast around it and some cement walls, whatever you need to just protect it and hide it and keep it covered and protected. But really, you know that at some point it all has to come off for you to really heal. It's going to be painful. The deeper or the longer it's been there, the more painful it's going to be. But it has to be removed in order to heal. This is the way it is with our emotions. If we hold on to hurt and anger, the longer we hang on to that, the more it truly hurts us. It's not necessarily hurting the other person, it's really hurting us. And if we really want to heal completely, we have to pull off those layers. And we might want to take them off one little bit at a time, and that's okay, but they have to come off. So how do we do this? I mean, it's easy to say, well, just forgive. It's much easier, much harder to actually do that. But at the same time, once you start forgiving, you might be surprised at how quickly you can let those old emotions and the old things of the past that hurt you so bad, they can just kind of disappear. So let me give you a few ideas that I have found to be incredibly valuable when it comes to forgiving, and they can work really well. And if it's something little, it can work super fast and just be completely gone. So one of the first things I like to do is just sit down and write. As soon as I'm upset, as soon as something's hurt me or created some kind of negative emotions inside me, I sit down and I just write. I write it all out, anything I can get out, anything that comes into my mind. Sometimes it doesn't even have to do with the situation. It's something maybe from the past that pops up. And get it all out, because you never know. I might be really angry at something that actually happened a long time ago, but this certain situation brought it up for me. So take advantage of those opportunities to recognize things from the past that you've been holding on to and get rid of them. Once you've written it all down, get it all out, 2 or 3 pages, maybe more, then you need to destroy it. Don't hang on to this. This is not your nightly journal that you want to set by your bedside and keep with you the rest of your life. You want to destroy it, tear it out, crumple it up, throw it in the garbage, burn it, whatever you need to do. Shred it, get it out of your life. It will literally lift a burden off of you. Sometimes you might need to actually talk to the person. Now, I suggest writing pages, get the emotions out before you go talk to them. Another thing you can do is actually write a letter to the person. Now, this is not a letter that's going to be sent. It is, again, to get all the frustration, all the anger, all the hurt and heartache, everything that you want to say to this person and maybe can't without really damaging or destroying the relationship. So get it out on paper, write a letter to them, and then again, destroy this paper. And then if you feel like you need to go talk to them, if it's a family member or someone that you need to continue to stay in touch with, maybe it's a colleague, someone you work with, then you can go to them, and by clearing that out, by getting it all out on paper and working through that, you will be able to approach that person in a calm and unignited way and be able to work through it much more clearly and more calmly. The other thing I like to do, a couple more things actually, prayer is huge. I just can't say enough how much praying for someone who has hurt me helps me to see them in a different light. I see them as a child of God, someone who may be struggling with things that I don't understand. And as I pray for them, it softens my heart and helps me to forgive faster and to see them as a human being that they are, and not hold so much resentment and anger towards them. And then the last idea is actually a Hawaiian term called ho'oponopono. And I love this. It's so beautiful. You'll have to do some research on it because I just think there's so many awesome stories and really life-changing things that have happened with this. The term literally means connection, and there are 5 steps that go with it. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I forgive you. Thank you. And I love you. And you want to be as specific as you can. You're not talking to the person in person. You're just thinking this. You're imagining them in your mind, and you're thinking these things to them. And like I said, you want to be very specific. I'm sorry. Now you might be like, I didn't do anything. Why do I have to be sorry? Well, if you don't have anything that you've contributed negatively to whatever the situation was, then you can say, I'm sorry I've held on to this negative emotion for so long because it's hurt both of us, or it's hurt me, okay? I'm sorry. Please forgive me for XYZ. Next, I forgive you. And this is one you want to take really seriously and think about it and list all the things that they did to hurt or offend you and forgive them. Just open up your heart and really sincerely think about forgiving them. Thank you. Again, you might think, I'm not thankful for anything this person does or is, but if you think about it, I guarantee you can come up with something. Thank you. Thank you for trying. Thank you for doing your best. Thank you for being there. And then, I love you. And this is such a great healing process. You will, if you take this seriously, I promise you will just feel so much weight lifted off your shoulders. You might have to do it more than once, depending on how deep these wounds are. You may have to do it over and over again, but these are really powerful tools. I don't think you have to do all of them. Pick one that seems to fit well with you and give it a try. Don't wait until that wound is festering and infected and scary. Deal with it while the hurt is fresh, and you can heal so much faster. Good luck. Relationships are so important. It's what makes us feel alive and connected, and it's what makes life exciting. We want to have good relationships. Thanks.